I'm not into the construction or real estate or any of those kinds. I belong to the fresh produce industry. I'm in the business of moving commercially grown produce from the producing nations into the receiving world. 80 to 85% of my business lies in the Middle East. So we move produce from South Africa, US, Australia, New Zealand, European nations into the Middle East. So I have a client base in UAE, Saudi, Oman, Bahrain, Qatar. The reason why I explained this is because I just wanted you to understand where this precast interest came in. So I researched the web and I found a lot of precast constructions on warehouses, huge buildings, which happens in record times. And I tried to research about the longevity and the strength of these kind of constructions, and it was surprisingly mind-boggling. And I was thinking, especially in Kerala, where precast construction is really kind of unheard of. Even to start off something like all those tables and vases and all those things that you have made, even if you have to start small, something like that would give me and my wife an opportunity to understand the precasting. But learning shouldn't take too long. We should be able to work it out into real constructions. So the opportunity is that we have some segments of land in Kerala which we would be able to build as villas and homes and stuff like that. But the moment commercialization kicks in, you have all these trade unions, wreaking havoc across this part of they call it the God's own country. I hope it is still one. But yeah. So I thought, why not we do this precasting? Why can't we produce this precast ourselves and build it? Of course, we have to work around with these political issues and stuff, the challenges and stuff like that. You started off with the basics, which really helped. There were experienced people in the industry, in the team, in the group of people who were attending your session. But whenever the talks switched over into the high funda jargonic civil construction line, you used to very consciously pull it back into the basics so that the people who are naive to this industry has absolute clarity. And even I even noticed that when somebody uses short forms, you used to expand it. And that was really catchy. I mean, it's quite easy for somebody to just go with the flow because you are neck deep or maybe nose deep into the industry. So it's very easy to jump on with the flow. But you did not. I'm grateful to you for having taken that conscious effort to help people like us understand. You wholehearted thanks to you for that. Thank you. And then I just noted down a few things that I could, share with you. So the basics was kept very, very close, and that really helped. Thank you once again. Throughout your sessions, you try to make the concepts clear, methodology second. So as long as you have your right concepts, you can implement various methodologies. You always used to say, go experiment, but this is what you need to achieve. This is the strength that you need to have. Mix it with this, mix it with that, do that, experiment it. Of course, yes, and you came back with suggestions for the bathtub. Use this. That's more than enough. You don't need super strength for a bathtub. These kind of insights, otherwise you can go like a mathematics school teacher who will give you a formula, you run by the formula. Here, there is a little more, your spectrum is a bit more wider because you get to know that this is what I need to achieve. And these are the things that I have in hand to work on. So that was really nice again. Kudos to you again, Roshan. Thank you very much for that. Now, one of the biggest thing that I expressed to you on the meeting as well, or the sessions as well, is that I understand that your ability to molding for any kind of things thrown to you by the client is where your success lies, or maybe one of the key areas where your success lies. And so on the molding front, I think it was on the very next day that molding was taken up. And I was thinking I should have been just patient for the next day, because the next day was all about molding, right? From the carpenters doing the molding to the silicon molds and the steel metal molds and all those things. And that was really an eye opener, because I was of the thought that I need to approach a company in Russia or in Italy or Dutch companies who are very good at molding. They have their own lineups in molding. You know it much more than me. So I thought we need their heavily expensive infrastructural setup to create these kind of molds. But the fact is, you can mold with whatever you want, as long as it meets the cook it together. Um, the structures that you explained, those beautiful things that you can keep at a home or in the office, all those things can easily be done by a good carpenter, who can craft the molds. So that was now why I specifically mentioned that, is because for me, who is new to this industry and who thought this was the biggest problem one could have, or the biggest, not a problem, but the main focus area, it was handled like a piece of cake. And then you explain the various ways in which you could do the molds. The pictures and videos that you used throughout the session to highlight what you wanted to explain perfectly worked. It was not a blackboard session. You definitely knew what you were talking about. So with these many years in the industry, you definitely knew what you were talking about. But the strength, the best thing was you were able to blend the real life things right into your explanation. You didn't even have to explain. Those pictures and those videos really did the job. So, and I can just imagine the hours and effort that you have put together uh, to bring your thoughts into picture mode, to make it happen. Amazing, Roshan. It reminds me of my college lecturer days, where I used to try and do that to help the children understand. So I could relate to that really well. Amazing job. Thank you very much for that.
Thank you.